Hi, guys. People with daddy issues. Woo. It builds character. Okay, so I'm gonna perform a poem. And this poem is called Merry-Go-Round Around the Victoria. And it's an ode to East Africa. And it goes like this. Kutafuta ni kupata. To seek is to find. She came from Nairobi, the green city under the sun compared to none, where metaphorical milk and honey flow. She traveled to Uganda. The royalty she exudes surpasses that of the Kabaka. Surely Wakanda has nothing on the Baganda. By way of Jinja to Kampala, to find a lover there is no other. Kigali ni mbali lakini alifika. Wiriwe. Kinyarwanda now rolls off her tongue like she was born there. She learns peace there. She's at peace there. Her mind wanders in Tanzania, so kwanza alianzia Mwanza. To Arusha and Dar es Salaam, speaking Swahili and the language of love, up the coastline through Tanga Sekela. In Mombasa, we finally meet. We hold hands and merry-go-round, glorious around the Victoria. My lover, Malaba is calling us. I trace maps on his back. His lineage dates back to the Congo before the dawn of Bongo. Oh no, don't leave me. I love you, believe me. I wonder, might the Almighty have fashioned me after Rwanda? I flirt with men by convincing them that my mountains and valleys are proof that I was the real cause of the rift in the valley. We speak with conviction, giving orders. Swahili transcends borders. I was created in the image of she who created me. There's no denial in me. The blood that runs through my veins moves like the Nile in me. I am black gold. Petroleum jelly glistens on my skin like anointing oil. I am black gold. Tell me, does Lake Victoria ever want to be known by her African name? Does Lake Victoria ever want to pause and say she doesn't want to go into the Nile because that will mean leaving everything she has ever known, or more importantly, tell me, does Mount Kilimanjaro ever want to cross the border and come back home? Thank you. Thank you, Jazia.
Do you see how it was an injustice to you guys if you did not hear her poetry? I mean, you're welcome. So remember how I told you this is just a platform for me to, talk about my issues. I'm actually in this situationship thing with this guy, and we're at the place now where we have to start telling the truth about each other. And that's not fun. I'm just like, can we just go back to kissing and you telling me how pretty I am? Like, I want to do this. And we got into a little bit of a disagreement, and I actually wrote this piece like as I was in the car on the way here, because the disagreement happened literally today. Wow. Thankfully, he's not here. So if you know him, you don't know him now. So I loved you like a rainstorm, fast and hard. I loved you like a newborn mother. I loved you like a newborn loves their mother, innocent. I loved you with all of me, pouring out of every crevice of my being. If existence was measured by emotions, then I would have lived many moons with just the thought of you, reflected visions of a face unfamiliar, but I know you. From a dream, a faraway land, I know you. A feeling of security that you provide me with in what could have been rewriting the narrative over and over in my head. I'm trying to fit my own wants and needs, but I need this to be. I need this to be more than a fleeting moment that fills me with anguish, and I need you to understand that nothing else matters. You are a level of peace that comes with my existentialism. You are peace and silence. For a moment, no matter how brief, this feeling, you fill me with warmth. This feeling, scary and unfamiliar, yet welcomed somehow. This feeling tattooed on every part of my body until I'm inhaling and exhaling your name as if your name is drawn on, etched into my lungs. I'm inhaling you the way that I inhale oxygen. You are my rainstorm because you provide me with more life than you will ever know. And even as those around us, other feelings, other memories, existence die out, I hope with all my soul that you remain etched in my lungs, inhaling and exhaling your name. Just one last time. It was supposed to be hot girl summer, but you know, it's cool. I guess we simping or whatever. So I like to do this thing. If you've watched me perform before, you might be familiar with it. I get very bored of performing my pieces, and I feel like I like to engage with the audience a lot. So I ask the audience for 5 to 10 words, and then I attempt to freestyle a piece with those words. To this day, it has never failed, but I always give the disclaimer, if today is the day, pretend like it wasn't.
Okay. The first person to give you a word is going to be the giveaway. Savannah.
What?
Come slowly, the giveaway is a book.
I mean, she delivered. You
You say
asked.
Savannah.
Yeah. Okay, that's one word.
Wasanii.
Houdini or Boudini? Houdini. Okay, I was like, what? Fry. Okay, so we have Savannah, Wasanii, Houdini, fries. I can't hear you. Epilepsy. I always set myself up for failure because I always look at the words that people give me and I'm like, what the actual fuck? Okay, Savannah, Wasanii, Houdini, fries, gory, epilepsy.
Eyeball.
Scan. Eyeball, scan. You guys are not making this easy. Okay, that is Savannah, Wasanii, Houdini, fries, gory, epilepsy, eyeball, scan. 2 more words. Yeah, she already gave fries. Smile. Okay, one more. She beat you. Okay. Remember, disclaimer, if I fail, we're pretending like I didn't. That's a good question. If you were to ask me how far I would go for your love, I would tell you from the savannah to Wasanii. And I'm not Houdini, but I can assure you the most that I can do for you is provide you with fries and a love so deep. And a love so deep. You might not understand what the word gory means, but I know it drives you crazy when I switch to Swahili. It's almost like you're getting an epilepsy, but look into my eyeball. Look into my eyeball and allow me to scan how much it is that you truly love me. They say you can tell a lot by a person's smile, and you tell me that mine is your favorite thing in the world, and if you could, you would wake up every morning to me, and you looked at me when we woke up in the morning, and you said to me, Jazz. And you said to me, Jazz, There might not be any music playing, but I swear every time I hold your hand, I feel my heart beating to the beat of its own drum. Is my time up? That's my time. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, Jazia. We've enjoyed having you on stage. The next person coming on stage, akona jicho kwa jina yake. Who can guess? Maybe. Sorry, the books are over. You would have won something, but. So, Jicho Pevu, come over on stage. Come and bless us. We're so ready for you. We cannot wait to see what you have in store for us. Karibu, karibu, karibu. Hey, he's coming with his guitar. He's so ready. He's so ready for us.
Yeah. Nilijiambia, I want time to keep you off my mind. Nafta hapo ndo nikajua kufall in love mara kadhaa iwezi kupatia particles za mapenzi hata blowout kisses. Sikuwa ijua itakuwa na mwisho. Mapenzi ilikuwa moto, hata fire extinguisher ingeweza manage kusustain your heat. Kama ni kwenda out, tulifika mpaka kwa space. Na tukirudi in, hatungepitia pizza, destination ilikuwa mpaka katikati ya earth. We danced to our own tunes, sang our own hymns, tukazunguka faster kuliko CD ndani ya DVD, much faster kuliko mto yuko juu ya merry go round. Woni Jicho na Mary wana go round. We spend so much time together nge to mistake na stand ya city clock. Held each other so tight ka bikini kwa mwili ya stripper. Hatukuwa in a position na kwenda church, but juu ya mapenzi nilimpraise na kumworship kama msalaba mbele ya most high. I did kiss the ground for her. I did tattoo my heart all over with her name. I almost put a ring on it. Alipateo crown ya queenship na ilikuwa rula wa dynasty till eternity, but shida ni ati it's a two-way thing, but alitaka portion kubwa zaidi ya kichwa yake. Alitaka instrumental, soundtrack na beat at the same time, na mimi baki hapo kana play around kama BGV ya Maybach music. Nakumbuka nikimwona siku ya kwanza ilianza na kulengana, nikadhani macho zetu zimetupia na mshale. Kidogo kidogo tukasmailia, nikasema maybe mmoja wetu anakaa joka. Ikagrow ikafika ni handshake, na after hapo nikajua hii mambo yetu imeingiana. Mrembo, unanikalia kama recruise kwa Telemundo. Juu sauti yako ni tamu kuliko ngoma zote zimedownloadiwa kwa mdundo. Unanipatia mchanganyiko maalum mpaka kwa hoteli mi ukumistake na DJ Johnny serve na mix ya chapati ndondo. Nikikuona mi ugeuka sururu juu na charo yangu ikigonga ndo. Sijui ni kwa nini ukuitwa kinoti na vile na sura ya pesa. Unaemesha wengi juu kama hao ndio paka, then nimekubali na tupeleka rat race. Mrembo, kaa ukijua wewe ndio my current girlfriend, na wewe ndio the reason why mwa skuli chapati imepikwa na unga ya X. Msupa, beauty yako ni classic design, ungekuwa radio station ningekupenda milele. Sina budi kuambia umestand out, ni kama beauty spot kwa face ya Msudi. Una mwili fitting kuliko Lilian Muli. Sauti yako ni ya kuvutia kuliko perfume ya Catherine Kasavuli. Wewe na klasi yako auto nifanya mimi skuli. Mazgombe zako zupe mpaka advert ya Safco Misuli. Kama ni kushema, this time round nitabonga mpaka Kinduli. Alafu after hapa, wewe mtu itazata kwa named Badaurie Rogo. Let's give it up for Mukasa on the guitar.
Yeah. Hello guys. Hijack show ya Jicho na. Yeah. Ulizaliwa ukapata dunia imejazwa. Umelelewa ukifahamu bidii inapaswa toto, yeah. Msingi wa kizazi kesho, kizazi leo, yeah. Umoja, undugu, bidii, maendeleo. Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa yaye, sababu maisha haya ni mulima Nairobi. Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa, sababu maisha ya Kanairo ni mulima na.
Nairobi itanonyesha mambo. Madem wanadunga mini, maboy wanapoteza sauti na kuvunja shingo. Consequences ni kupromote kampuni ya Rob na Vix Kingo. Kwa parliament mlielect Dingo kama youthman na kama mzazi. Signature zetu ndio ziutumika kurutenda na kumtafuta tenda za kikazi. Ni survival, that's why wata bleach job requirements na tafuta mtu light skin. Ni survival mkijipata mtu thao na position ya job inatafuta mtu mbao. Ni survival kidai siku za usoni ziwe bright. Civis mob umedrop uko brighter Monday mpaka siku hizo ushaanza kuitwa civilian. Nairobi itanionyesha mambo. Tulia. Niko na wazazi lakini nakana mama wa kambo. Mateso chungu nzima kama scars kwa mwili ya Kristo. Unatamak na Adidas mpaka hizo line tatu ndio squeeze zako matatu. Ni survival, ni kukaa hivyo kama simba inadishi watoi. Niko carnival. Saplaneno ameshindwa kuanza kuuza historia, amefungwa kiosks. Nairobi itanionyesha mambo.
Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa toto, sababu maisha haya ni mulima. Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa, sababu maisha haya jicho ni mulima na.
Nairobi itanionyesha mambo. Makanjo kolekdo kwa mahoka na kiasi ndio zufika kwa ofisi. Nimechoka kuboka kama kikombe. Mimi nitakuacheza chai alafu ukose kuinvestia shamba la majani. Wana mambo next time ukiwa na ubao tafadhali tafuta choka. Future Nairobi ni bright. Usipoongo utachomeka miguu kijaribu kutipto chini ya jua. Kama hujui kubranch ni nini, kosa kazi alafu ujipate na deni ya tala. Nairobi ni kama kuishi kwa mdomo na konda ukiongeza kiasi na kumeza mzima. CKRA, huduma namba, passport, CID, CDCI, uliza gakuo, Jare, Joey na wengineo. Kuomoka na kupata mkwanja pay na dai ujanja. Usikitu umekomia Egypt baada kutupa do kwa pyramid scheme. Definition fit ya dealership over leadership. Akili ni nywele lakini ukienda na dread shule kuna ras za nywele kando ulipia kama school fees. Chakula ya kibanda ni tamu lakini chorea. Turungi moto kikombe aina handle alafu na kupiga karibu kama ameondokea. Nairobi itanionyesha mambo.
Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa ala, sababu maisha haya ni mulima. Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa, sababu maisha ya Kanairo ni mulima na. I say everybody knows this right now. Yeah. Everybody knows this now. Yeah. Everybody knows that children are the future. Yeah. They deserve to be free from any kind of torture. Yes. A boy will grow into a man and this is nature. Yes. I say don't mistreat your children with your culture. Yes. Basi mwenzangu, usiwe na pupa.
Nairobi,
sababu maisha haya ni mulima na.
Nairobi. Let's give it up for Mukasa. So guys, thank you so much. That was our time and nyinyi watu wa nguvu sana, si ndio?
makofi yao watiko happy. Woot woot! Mukasa, Jichopevu, asanteni sana. You guys have been brilliant on this stage. We cannot wait for our next performer as well, who is a very powerful lady and speaks on matters that involve oomph, feminism, political issues. Her beautiful name, guys, is... Give a round of applause for Miss Nina. Miss Nina uko wapi? Come through. The stage is about to be yours. Take it over. Bring your power with you. We are so ready for it. Yay!
My very first piece is in regards to what is happening right now. So in case we have people like who don't follow the news. We've all heard about the police brutality that has been going on. I personally has been a victim of being harassed by the police for no good reason. And I feel it's a high time that we start speaking up about it. So here's a piece. Remember their names. His name was James from Mathare. 3 bullets. 1 to his leg, another to his stomach, and 1 to his chest. His only mistake was being homeless. And his name was Max from Kayole. 4 bullets to his chest from the man in blue. His only mistake was hiding in plain view. And then there was Mutura and Jiru, brothers, whose only mistake was trying to get home to their mother. And then there was Lazarus, 1 shot to his head. His only mistake was not wearing a mask. And those are just a few who got the privilege of being on the primetime news. So remember their names. Because yesterday was them, tomorrow, well, who knows? Anyways, I just wonder. I wonder, when did serve and protect become comply or die? When did life stop becoming a right and turn into a crime? When did poverty become a reason for eradication? And when did we lose the real sense of education? See, we are taught how to memorize the dates and events of history, but we never bother to take time to learn from it. Talk of Sabasaba and the other uprising, bloodshed. Is that the only way we can solve things? And you say Serikali's idea. But Serikali's idea has become an anthem that has fallen on deaf ears. Activism has been turned into a business where they only show up if there's a paycheck. And it's crazy. It's crazy how we learn how to play defense from the same people who are set aside to protect us. And it's sad. It's sad that the only time we value someone, it was when they're 6 feet under. Create the news story on Twitter. Write on the short-lived fame on your Facebook status, hashtag justice to the slain, but you don't even remember their name, so let me help you with that. His name was John from Mathare, beaten to death on his way home. His only mistake was to abide by the law. And then there was Paul from Embu, shot to death. His only mistake was fighting for justice. And then there was Hussein, 13 years old. His only mistake was being at home. And then there's the unknown, yes, the unknown, who are enlisted in the statistic of the 166 whose stories will never be told. So remember their names. Because yesterday was them. Tomorrow, well, who knows? See, I wish RIP means return if possible. Then maybe we'll learn their side of the story. Because all we get now is a narrative where the victim is painted as the villain, the government remaining silent, the media spreading propaganda, leading to the rise of a new hashtag where politicians fight over the funeral podiums. They claim that curfew is to protect me and you, where the only pandemic that I see is the man in blue. And the only coffin that COVID has brought is the one with 4 walls that is shrinking every day because we're silenced by the uniform. So remember their names. Then maybe you'll get that a right delayed is a right denied. Remember their names so that tomorrow this won't happen again. Remember their names because yesterday was them. Tomorrow, well, who knows? Thank you. Well, since I started performing, I've been given different names. I've been called an activist. Well, I'm not. And I've also been given the very famous name of being a feminist. But I'm not really. I just like talking facts. So, okay, so this next piece, it's called A Moment of Silence, dedicated to the ladies. So, a moment of silence. See, I always wonder why it can't be an hour, a day, or an year per se, because the silence I hear, it's so loud it makes my ears bleed whenever I see how the girl child has been turned mute by this thing called gender. So a moment of silence as we mourn the death of the girl's identity, because for the price of her father's X chromosome, she has been forced to pay a debt to society, all because she's viewed as weak. But I wonder, how long should this silence last? Because silence cannot last if it's not tolerated. But why is it forced upon her just because she's a woman? Tell me why. Why is it that she has to worry about being harassed whenever she walks alone without a man with her? Why is it that she has to worry about being body shamed just because of her appearance? Tell me why is it that she has to go around the street and chant my dress, my choice, just to prove her point? Tell me why. Why is it always her fault? Yet we all claim to be feminists. Yes, we all became feminists that time. We waved the flag high and raised the bar for the women's rights, but we kind of got drunk. We never learned the true meaning of women empowerment. Because you claim to be feminists, but you're the one saying that fat girls are ugly and that skinny is the in thing. You claim to be feminists, but you're the one pointing a finger at that girl parading herself in front of men instead of holding her hand and showing her what is right. You claim to be feminists, but you're the one clicking like on that nude pic simply because she's not your mother, your cousin, your sister, your niece. We all claim to be feminists, but we're the ones continuously uploading music videos where the girls are underdressed and the men are overdressed. We all claim to be feminists, but we are the ones who have ruined the image of the girl child to nothing more than a sex object. So yes, we don't need a moment of silence to think. Because you cry and say that the boy child is under siege, while I cry and say that the values of the girl child are going extinct. Because she was raised to obey, that now when she wants to stand up for her rights, it feels like she's getting ready for war. She has been accustomed to the notion that being harassed is normal. She has been forced to calculate the standard of beauty with the color of her skin, her weight, or how high the hem of her skirt is. She has been turned into a currency so inflated that she's become worthless. She has been forced to become a woman even before she knows what it really means. She's lost it. Defiled as young as 3. Sold as a bride as soon as she becomes 9. Seen as a sex toy by the time she's a teen. And when she's 18, she's young but too bold. See, her silence has been mistaken for weakness. Her strength has been mistaken for show-off. She wants to fight back, but she's tired, so where are you? You were supposed to be her backbone and stand up for her. Where are you? You still claims that it's none of your business because she is not someone you know. Where are you? So tell me this. When a young girl is being groped in a moving bus by a man who in his twisted mind thinks that this 9-year-old understands his language that he's speaking, you don't bother speaking up because it's none of your business, for she's not someone you know. When we continuously hear the cries of our girls stuck in the Middle East, you don't bother speaking up because it's none of your business, for she's not someone you know. When we continuously allow politicians to assault and insult our women, you don't bother speaking up because it's none of your business, for she is not someone you know. So tell me this, just because she's not someone you know, when you'll ever make it your business to speak up for her? Thank you. Whew. Okay, and before I go on to my last piece, I'd like to, guys, give a clap to my guitarist, Dennis Kinyanjui. Yeah. He's also an awesome actor on stage. You need to watch him, guys. And just to let you know, I'm also a play director. I have a play coming along. It's called Why I Will Not Marry, on the last weekend of September, right here in Ukumbi Mdogo. So in case you need the tickets, just DM me, I'm Amunione Kando. Anyways. Sawa basi. Okay, for me, when it comes to writing my pieces, I like focusing on general issues that are happening. And the next one is all about immigration. So we've had Jazia's story where she feels at home. She's at home, but people think she's not actually at home. So this piece is actually to people like her, and also the rest of us who still feel like we still have to run, yet we're at home. So the piece is called Where is Home? So east or west, home is always the best. But what happens when home doesn't want you to exist? When you're forced to run when you can't even walk? When the place you once called home is no longer yours? So let's talk. Let's talk about Ali and Naima, who are forced to leave their homes because it has been turned into a war zone. Let's talk about Saddam and Hussein, who are judged with the way they dress and their heavy accents because based on the actions of a few, they are considered terrorists. Let's talk about Mwangi and Atieno, who are forced to leave their homes in search of greener pastures because poverty has now become an acquaintance. Let's talk about Fatuma, who doesn't even know how to swim. But for the sake of her 2-year-old son, she's willing to take that deadly trip across the Mediterranean. Let's talk about governments who claim to be welcoming to people of all nations, but they're busy trying to put out the only means of survival, putting up walls as if trying to keep out an animal, feeling justified separating mothers and their kids just because they don't belong. Let's talk. But what happens? What happens when the tears run dry and the finger of shame lacks a direction? What happens? So, dear Lord, I pray. This may sound like a confession, but it's a prayer for redemption. Lord, I pray that you open the eyes for those who see blind. Those who think that to survive, they have to chase that American dream. Those who have been forced to accept the vices of a forbidden culture because their African dream has been turned into a nightmare. This for all those who struggle with mental torture because they've been turned into fishers of men. Body counts rising on the European coast, but no one seems to count the cost of a human life. This for all those who struggle to heal the scars of colonialism, but the shadow of slavery still roams by them. This for all those who risk their lives just to make others convenient. Those who have to look over their shoulder because they don't know the words, go back to your country, will be yelled at them. So this for the confused generation. Those who are constantly reminded that they're different, forced to suffer when they don't even know what their mistake is. These for the forgotten stories and the lost memories of those lying in unmarked graves. These for all those who had to watch the degradation of humanity through the eye of desperation. These for you and me who have to drop our given names because we are forced to walk around with tags on our skins that are branded as migrants, terrorists, Negroes, and slaves. Because in a world of man-made borders and diversity, east or west to us, home will never exist. So when there's no place left to go, where is home? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hey. Thank you so much, Miss Nina, for gracing our stage. Pole sana for giving you names that do not belong to you. Unajua, we don't want to do injustices. Another round of applause for Miss Nina, guys. Asanteni sana. The next person we're going to have on stage is a craftsman, and we have a couple. Give me a minute. Already people know who it is. You're not going to give me a break. So the guy makes beautiful things. Some of them are right behind where I'm standing. And we cannot wait to have this man on stage. He's a very interactive guy when he gets on stage. Timo GK, uko wapi? A round of applause for Timo GK, guys. Timo GK. Ama alienda bathroom break. Timo. Najua uko na mafans. Come to utawasalimia baadaye. Salamu endi anywhere. Aya, thank you.
Yo, here's the craftsman, man.
Aya,
This is a craft, eh? Aye? Mnacheki? This is a... Yeah. So,
Did you manage to sell your ashtray last time?
Oh
I'm
man, they
concerned.
went man. Hata niko na zingine, niko na supply. I had to do others for today, man.
Kama mnataka ashtray.
I'm the guy. Naka una chomango na nyongi. Unaona nyongi eh? Niko na Charles pahali. Nitafute. Ninazo. Na si bamboo. No. It ain't bamboo. It ain't bamboo. Yeah. So
Timo, before I let you perform, we want to know something about you, eh?
yeah.
What's your biggest turn-off in a man? It can be yes, that's my question. In a man, he might have male friends, but now why are you guys looking at me like that? Get your minds out of the gutter. Allah.
Unacheki ole wanaume wa kila time nitolee form. Naitoa wapi seriously eh? Yeah, that's my turn off man.
Take it away.
So ile mse tuko naye hapa hivi anaitwa Keniji. Anatupigia the breast, the nyatiti thing. Chua! Imepita wengi. So oh man. So naitwa Timo JK. I am a poet. Aje Omoya. I'm the 64th slam champion. Yeah man. So ile piece ndaifanya, it's only like fair nisiwape context. Yeah. All Shaitan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, the devil, Shetani, Goma, Ibilisi. All Shaitan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, the devil, Shetani, Goma, Ibilisi. Skiza story. Miaka mingi Shetani amekuwa shouted at. Ametemwa na kukanyangiliwa na midomo ya his detractors. Na hata mara moja hajai talk back. Kwa protracted persecutions remain a gentleman, while those he support rave and have fun. Kizimbani anaangalia courtroom na msingizia alikot doom, akaigroom, akaiweka kwa forced na marriage na dunia. Saa kumejaa groom, existence imekuwa kupuliza gunia. Kila binadamu ana broom, akijaribu kufagia hali dunia. Dhambi hakujitakia, all around wote wanalia. The devil aliwatokelezea kanaik. He made them do it. Yule mse alicheat na mpango wa kando. Yule mse aliforce genito zake kwa mdomo ya mtoto. Yule mwanafunzi mzalendo aliingia exam room na Mokenya. Yule mlevi aliua watu 5 barabarani juu DUI. Wote wanasema Shetani ndo aliwapea motisha ya ku DIY. Satan. The devil wears Prada. You have to look good when you're the personification of evil in every religion and culture, theology, mythology, psychiatry, art and literature. You have to look good ukitemtoa tu na material possessions. You have to look good when you're God nemesis toka Genesis. You have to look good when you're a fallen angel. And your broken wings carry you from soul to soul. You, the prince of darkness. Ukiingia kiza kinatanda. Unaficha nightmares kwa vitanda. Ahela umejenga vibanda. Torture chambers za kufanya souls kuganda. Ati you are the rebellion in India, me in Uganda. The betrayal against Magere, Rwanda. Yes, the spirit that worketh in the children of disobedience. Ati empty souls that azichukua na kanda rasi. Atazikandamiza kanda mnasi. Azileweshe after kukanda mnazi. At the moment akona furaha. And then akona simanzi. Akona anger. Then akona simanzi. Akona mood swings. Na simanzi. Satan. The game haijai kuwa in his favor. Na kujai kuwa na mtu wa kumdefend. Even though he is the son of God, ana consider you are less than human. He embodies animal instinct, the burning dragon, the oscillating O, the sly serpent, the human form with a head of a ram. Anaitwa bringer of death na haram, hata kwenye ni Mungu alikuwa na serve justice. Ako condemned to hell na hati yake ni just ice. He is the antithesis of truth. Ana camouflage ka chameleon. Ana sauti tofauti ka chameleon. He is the bringer of disease. This is the charge against him, yeah? Satan. Kichwani ana pembe na crown ya laana. Anafanya goodness ikose maana. Binadamu wakose kufaana. Anarek spiritual havoc. Sometimes physical damage na harm. All these are charges against him. A million witnesses wamemplace kwa crime scene. A million priests wamemtrace ka origin ya sin. Walijua how heavy their misdoings were, ikabidi wamwekele msalaba. Walishindana na their egos kunya, wakapasuka msaba. Sasa wanatumia ibilisi ka tissue. Anajua mlichokula, msikane kinyesi yenu hadharani. Shetani amesimama kizimbani. Ana face a jury of his peers. Angels he once called brothers and our enemies, all because alisimama against an aristocrat God. The verdict has been passed, lakini bado anapewa chance ya kupat short. Oh, sinaga story, lakini kila mtu story. Satan. Shetani with his snake tongue anaanza kuongea. Mengi amesemwa leo jana juzi kunihusu. Mko wapuzi kujiruhusu walk in my shoes while nimeishi kutembea barefoot. Propaganda mlidishi mkazembea kudea truth. You are the monsters imejificha kwa vioo. But you can't see it ukiangalia image yako. You a self-serving bastard umenifanya scapegoat. I am a fallen angel, si deserve kuwa scarecrow. But are you scared though? For I am the darkness that was there before light. Si mimi niliwaumba na nikawa disposed to. I don't cause diseases amko predisposed to. I don't bring karma siko supposed to. My picture speaks 1,000 words. For a moment sitaongea, nitapose to. Niendelea ama nipose to? Birth is the beginning of death and I bring neither. Your God is black and we wonder why you beat us against each other. Well, we are two sides of the same coin. We are in your head and we marvel at how your brain works. Nikimalizia, mengi yamesemwa leo jana juzi kunihusu. I regret partaking in your war of words while you have bigger battles to fight. When human, you are the evil you see in me. Siku hapo when you shot a gun, when you cheated on your spouse, when you raped, when you mutilated, when you assaulted, when you murdered. Breathe, uache kuhema. Kenya ningetaja mapema, ni uache kusema. The devil made me do it. Take responsibility for your actions, man. Yeah. That piece called Satan. That piece, it's my dedication to Satan, man. Mzee hapa hivi anaitwa Kenny G. Mzee mnoma sana hivi venye mmesikia. You heard eh? You mmesikia. That's my person. Also, as now on a serious note though, I make these things. For this one, it's only 800. You see, it has no batteries. It is just inataka tu upepo kasongeshe. Unaekelea hapo hivyo kwa mesa, msee anakuja hapo hivyo na trip kwanza. What the nini is this? Unaweka kwa dashboard inashinanga tu hapo. Yeah, you go. Yeah. So I make these ones. These are toothbrush holders and pen holders. Wacha kuweka hizo toothbrush kwa nini kwa kasuku ya yogurt. Unafikiria tuonangi we are tired. Tumechoka, Yeah man, si ndio? Yeah, and also ashtray ziko wenye wanatumianga those plastic containers na viberiti empty. Tunawajua. We got you sorted. Si ndio? Yeah. So my next piece inaitwa my pieces never have names. They don't have names. Acha nisitanganye. It's about you here. Yeah. Timo GK here. Ukiweza nitaka unanipata Timo GK on all platforms. I'm a part of a group called Minefields. Big things coming, big things are going, big things are going. So nyinyi wasee mkaange tu mkiwa masikio, macho. Big things coming. Hey, For absentee father hangeendelea father kubabaika after kusikia B. For but babe, I've missed my period several times in a row. C for condoms broken, nyama ikakulwa raw. Na hata coitax climax haikushow. D for did you not know hangeshow after kupata alichotaka. Duties diligently debunked, hakutaka alichopata. E for engage na engineered reality your eyes zione. F for fact up facts zania nafaa. G for ganda proper propaganda ukilishwa kwa 9 o'clock news. Gunia zinapulizwa na the good. You honestly God gave up on them. H for heaven holds high those with hearts of gold and faces of snow. I for I imagine my heaven is black. No, I know. J for jijini jina ni ya maana kaa tu janja Jehanamu jela kumejaa. K for killers na wengine accused falsely. Kila kukicha bodies inakufa. L for losers kwa game wana maana kaa winners. Recognition ndo watalan kulive bila. M for mwaka mzima hakuna show. Msanii hajanunua mng'aro. Mkuu wa Ikuru amepuliza mbio wa mgambo kuentertain wanaomfaidi. N for nafsi yangu nyesaye nguvu unipe. Niko na hamu lakini mashaka imenikwamilia kagamu. O for okoa jahazi. Sijai ogelea toka niwe gulamu. Ondoa onyo za kufutwa ofisini. P for promise me probably nitai make it. Prayer nimeisema. Penye nipo ni pabaya siwezi fake it. Q for quote me Quote me. Queen cues to bow to no pawn. Quick quiet reflections and questions on quasi-judicial condemnation of queers. R for redemption from Marias na ionea kwa ria mira. S for sasa sugu asisumbue sisi. Alijiseclude na mira. Safari ya maisha ni saa isimami. T for tembeza taarifa taa ilizimwa. Tangu then biashara ya kando ikavuma. U for unganisha uhondo, uvumi, unaosikia. Ujingamulie ukweli pia. V for verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. W for wewe utaelewa kiwewe ni nini ukishuhudia vita ya kuku na mwewe. Winning ni who fights, not whales. X for X's X-ray wapewe, tuone cold hearts of stone kwenye character development ilihel. Y for yeye, yaya, yu amini atawai kuwa ya employer. Yin na yan amebalance ili. Z for zimwi na kama zisiwai mpitia. Zoned out puff pasi kimfikia. Asemacho ni tu. Z my man. Yeah, that's my time. Nimekuwa na Kenny G hapa hivi msanii bomba yeah. Thank you. And nambaye hadi merchandise bana. Mbaye merchandise nataka kukula kesho. Okay? Niko na very good bracelets hapa hivi tunazitengeneza na msanii anaitwa mhenga fulani pale hivyo nyuma. Wacha niwasomee kadhaa. I speak. Pen pal. Soul food. Ni mingi kwani open mic. Word pro. It's only 100 shillings. Come get
Only 100 shillings, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me your ears.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Timo. Wachani hijack kidogo introduce myself. I go by the name Ken Gakuo. Kenny G, I play the Kenyan traditional instrumentals and also record the songs with these instrumentals. Today I was playing Nyatiti kutoka the Kisumu land. And also do make them and also teach them. Thank you so much. Next time to perform poa kabisa show yangu.
Don't forget to invite us. We are ready to come to your show. Make sure you buy some stuff from Timo GK. He has very beautiful things. Our next, wait a minute, before to enter to our next person, a round of applause for Timo GK, my guys. Because Timo, we love you. We appreciate your work. We appreciate your enthusiasm and your energy. Our next performer goes by the name L. Her works are, yes. Her works are very soft, yet have a lot of power. L Belle, come onto the stage. It's about to be yours. Take it over. Bring us your energy, your love, your softness, your power, your subtleness. We're so ready. Karibu, karibu. Stage is yours. And even before we let you take the stage, as you come, I hope you're listening to my question, eh? Hey, hey. Karibu, karibu. Belle, the stage is yours.
Thank you.
Before we let you start, yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
If you only had 5 minutes to live, who's the person you were going to call, and why would it be that person?
Wait.
And after that, you can perform, okay?
Please, rudia swali. Let me
Swali ni, ungekuwa na 5 minutes only to live, like right now. Who would be the person you're calling? Next 5 minutes, you'd be dead probably. You're not dying, babe. So yeah.
And why?
Yeah, and why? Why would it be that person? Yeah, we are curious a little.
Oh, that's. In this moment, if I had 5 minutes to leave, I'll probably call JJ. Yeah, and yeah. I die with a bang, happy, yeah.
My coffee, guys. Aya, take it over, Belle. The time is yours. Bless us. Do as you will.
I've always wanted to be a stripper. Me too. And I'm in love with poetry, so I find that being a poet is kind of like being a stripper. Only here, I lay my naked soul, thoughts, memories, dreams before anyone who cares, hoping that whoever I'm speaking to is among the ears listening to my dance, so that they may become one with me and sway with me in a moment, in a world made of words, thoughts, feelings, and us. This is a tale about an old man, grandpa, and a little child. Once upon a time, in a village, in the hilly thicket south of the lake, a little girl would wait. Ediero Nyango Sama, a low Jakadala would burst through the speakers, singing Tina Okao number, and the sun would start nagging and the air would smell like boiling water. Under a flaming tree, she would sit, waiting for the old man with the bald head and rugged trousers, balancing a bunch of sisal on his head, resting his age on his cane as he slowly walked uphill. When from a distance she'd see his back, swaying in the wind, back and forth, left and right, then she would run into the house and tell the mother, "Mama, Grandpa's here." And she'd emerge with a Luo cup of porridge. And she'd carefully deliver to the spot where he'd be waiting, because the mother is not keen on second chances, and the child, she is not keen on hot chicks and a ringing ear. And he'd say to her, "Ikelo na nyoka," proceed to take it like he had nowhere to be. And the world came to a standstill. He would listen to the wind and the birds chirp, and sometimes she'd wait by him. Look at his old lips, know the cup, his throat do the dance, and his head so rich in the light of the sun. And then when we finish, he'd tell her, "Nisna mama na goiru kamano," picking his sisal as he would go uphill, and the child would look at him, wondering where she'd be of her, but she was little and sickly. So later she'd go up the hill, then down the hill to his yard, where he'd be resting under the big flame tree in his yard, with 2 mango trees apart, just like his wife's house, the younger one with sweet lips and kind of a bitter hands. He'd always twist some ropes a stone throw away from the field where the children played with screaming laughter, and he'd sleep peacefully in all that noise. His cane on his leg, and when he was tired, he'd wake up and tell them to fall out the best way he knew how, and they'd run away from his cane because his hand was also good with stones. And the little girl, she'd walk away too, and that was their life. At the foot of the mountain, where everyone knew everyone and news traveled first, and the ever children played wherever they could. Until one day she was older and was taken to school. Somewhere mid-206, he cashed in his last ticket to a land where no one knows about. There were rumors that he suffered, barely had a bite to sleep on, but no one really talks about it because no one really asks. He had so many offspring, yet he spent all his days in the sun. But who cares, right? And so when he took his last breath, he was laid to rest beside his wife, who also cashed in her ticket on an empty stomach, and it's all good. The little girl, she was sad, because even though the old man never called her by her name, she was fond of him. And when he left, she never sat under that flame tree or went back to that bench under the mango tree, a stone throw away from where the children played, and they no longer did. Thank you.
Oh, Belle! A round of applause for Belle, guys, from the Lini. I love that girl, Bure. Thank you so much for gracing our stage. Guys, how are you feeling? Hey, you worried about your time? No, don't worry about your time. We're about to have some nice performances coming up here. We're about to welcome a storyteller on stage and a poet as well. Very brilliant man. His name is Ogutu. Ogutu, where are you? Come and take over the stage. But before you take over, allow me to ask you one question. If you were to go back to when you were 13 years old, what's something you'd change? Ama, what would you tell your 13-year-old self?
Be bold, be brave,
Aww.
be courageous, be curious, and have compassion for yourself.
Tell it to your inner child. Take it over, Ogutu. Thank you.
In 1935, the mad king Benito Mussolini rolled into Abyssinia with his tanks, trucks, armored cars, portable anti-aircraft guns, grenades, flamethrowers, missiles, cartridges, and shells. In 1935, the mad king Benito Mussolini with his 500,000 fascist soldiers rolled into Abyssinia and overwhelmed the Ethiopians. War ravaged the fields, living prairies and meadows stained with blood. In 1935, the mad king succeeded, and he exiled the Lion of Judah, the Emperor Haile Selassie. A reign of terror started, a blanket of darkness covered the last free African empire. In 1935, the British in East Africa held parties in his honor. White settlers in Southern Africa raised their stained wine glasses. The Belgians in Congo praised the name of the mad king. The Germans, brooding over losing their colonies in Namibia and Tanzania, designed a fatal courtship with a mad king. The French in West Africa tipped their colonial hats off. All of the European powers proclaimed, finally, Africa is subdued. No more Abyssinia to look up to. No more Abyssinia to inspire calls of freedom and self-determination. The Lion of Judah will no longer roar for independence. 5 years later, Haile Selassie rolled into Abyssinia, into the streets of Addis Ababa victorious, ending Italian occupation of Ethiopia. And as his officials were doing an audit, they discovered that under occupation, Abyssinia was robbed without a tint of shame. of the many things that were taken from the empire, one in particular disturbs both the living and the dead. A gravestone, the obelisk of Axiom. A 4th century granite monolith carved from a single solid block of stone, rising 24 meters high, weighing 160 tons. At the base of this gravestone are doors, intricately etched. The rest of the stone has false framed windows. How it was carved and installed in Axiom, a seismic region, 1600 years ago is a mystery. And it is this mystery that filled the Mad King's heart with lust. He wanted to turn a symbolic door into the afterlife in Abyssinia into a symbol of victory in Rome. He wanted to make a statement that he had not only conquered the living, but also the dead. In 1935, his soldiers labored for days, weeks, piece by piece. They broke the heavy gravestone and loaded it into trucks and military vehicles, transported it via tortuous, winding roads, traveling for weeks across from Axiom to Adwa, Adwa to Rama, Rama, across the border into Eritrea to Darwa, Darwa, straight to the city of Asmara, from Asmara straight to the port of Massawa. There, the soldiers offloaded the heavy gravestone and loaded it into a cargo ship. The ship crawled away from the port of Massawa, ferrying the bulky cargo across the Red Sea, squeezing it through the Suez Canal into the Mediterranean, set course for Napoli. In Napoli, the soldiers offloaded and loaded the heavy gravestone into more trucks and military vehicles and transported it to Rome, where it was installed in a square called Porta Capena. For the next 25 years, the obelisk of Axiom remained lost to the people of Abyssinia. For the next 25 years, the dead remained restless. But not anymore. You see, the Ethiopian soldier, Abebe Bikila, has illuminated the path towards the obelisk. After 25 years of waiting, the Ethiopian soldier, Abebe Bikila, has broken the silence that mummifies the heart. The people of Abyssinia can finally say, hang on, but we see our obelisk and we want it back. The ghosts of our 4th century kings deserve to rest in peace. Abebe Bikila, or Abe, as his close friends and family call him. Abe, a young man with a fierce spirit. Abe, able to withstand immense pain. Abe, small, lean, with a box-like forehead. Abe wears a stern look, heightened by the slight folding of skin between his eyebrows. Abe, from the village of Jato. Abe, the son of a shepherd. Abe was only a boy when the bombs began to fall in Abyssinia. Abe was only a boy when he was forced to run from home deep into the Abyssinian highlands, hiding from the Mad King. Abe was only a boy when he came back home to find his father lifeless, his mother missing. And now, 25 years later, Abe is all grown up and a soldier in the 5th Infantry Regiment of the Imperial Guard, tasked to protect the Emperor of Ethiopia. And in 1960, Abe finds himself on board a twin-engine jet headed to Rome on a rare mission, the Olympic Games. Abe arrives in Rome, and together with the other Ethiopian athletes, they board a bus headed towards the athletics village. And as the bus meanders through the streets of Rome, it passes a square, Porta Capena. A sudden murmur ripples through the bus. Did you see it? 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 A hand gestures out through the window, and there it is. The obelisk of Axiom. And Abebe Bikila understands for the first time the weight of his mission in Rome. Abe waits, alert and attentive, as the good soldier that he is. The days of the Olympics come and go, and the finals of the marathon, 42.2 kilometers, approaches. On Saturday, September 10th, 1960, Abebe Bikila takes the starting position, wearing bright red shorts and a green vest
the number 11 printed in bold white at the back. And who is that Ethiopian quiet over there? The commentators remark in a voice that is as indifferent as it is patronizing, and all of Abyssinia seated around their transistor radios shout, Abe is his name, Abebe Bikila. Abe, his official marathon time is ignored and laughed at as impossible. I mean, no one can defeat the Russian Sergei Popov's world record. No one. Abe is bare feet. His only shoe was completely worn out, and the replacement given to him by the shoe company Adidas was too small and caused him terrible blisters, the runner's plague. And so he resolves to run barefoot, just as he trained in the Abyssinian highlands. On Saturday, September 10th, 1960, in the late afternoon of Italian summer, under the raised arm of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman marathon begins. The athletes pour out into the streets of Rome with its variable road surfaces, from sets of cobblestone so rough and square to wide open, smooth tarmac. Abebe Bikila's strategy is clear. Stay with the race leaders for the first 30 kilometers, and in the final 10 kilometers, break away, and never look back. As the athletes negotiate the 8 kilometers of the Appian Way lined with cypress trees, darkness descends in the city of Rome, and the Appian Way turns into an avenue of flickering torches. As Abebe Bikila's feet rhythmically kissed the uneven stone, the half moonlight, the illuminated ancient Roman monuments, and hundreds upon hundreds of torch-bearing soldiers have intensified the atmosphere and added to the drama. Abe, it seemed that while the others were running, he alone was floating. At Porta San Sebastiano, with flawless speed, Abebe Bikila leaves behind his sole pursuer, the Moroccan Radi Ben Abdisilam. Abebe approaches the home stretch, unchallenged. And on that stretch, in the corner of his eyes, he sees it, rising out of the darkness, the obelisk of Axiom. And he knows that the ghosts of his 4th century king have guided his iron will, given flight to his feet, powered his resolve. He just glides past the obelisk of Axiom, and on those final few meters, alone and unchallenged, he crosses the finish line and wins. Abebe Bikila, even after running 42.2 kilometers, he was still energetic. He danced and stretched under the arc of Constantine, while the other runners collapsed with exhaustion and dehydration into the arms of Italian soldiers. Abebe wins, the first sub-Saharan to win an Olympic gold medal. He breaks the world record with his time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, 16.2 seconds. Abebe Bikila, the newspapers write, it took Benito Mussolini an entire army to conquer Addis Ababa. It took one Ethiopian soldier, a bodyguard, to conquer Rome.
Ogutu the storyteller, I am telling you. Sasa munajua history ya Abyssinia. Ama, you have details. You can go pick up stories with your friends, tell them about Abyssinia and the Romans, and there were brothers up there did the thing, and a baby. Sawa, guys. A round of applause for Ogutu Tafadhali. We are about to wind up, and we are about to have a king on stage, a great performer, an amazing poet. And should I introduce him or not? Muko ready? Hamko ready? You're not ready for greatness, you people. Hiya, you know what? You're not ready. You're not ready. However, a king is about to come on stage. A round of applause for Mufasa. Makofi, Makofi, Makofi. Makofi, Makofi, Makofi.
I have written for the likes, and I have written when I hated myself. I called an ambulance on myself, and poetry is a surgery that keeps saving me. I stay writing, so I don't need a comeback form. This is my drag. I trust it. I've seen drags drag people to places they couldn't come back from. I have left Earth every time I have performed, proof that I cannot always be grounded. I'm not the reason my mother's a grandmother. I'm the man who breaks chances by their spine until they can't take me anywhere. I know more about vapor than just the science taught to me in school. I have taken friendships to a boiling point and watched them evaporate to a sky that has witnessed what I've seen. I've seen people with hands that couldn't stop shaking. I've heard the noises of solid voices seeking an uprising. That's why I don't freestyle. My voice is not light, it is weighty. I can't freestyle, my tongue is heavy. Not how they make jokes about my high notes, but seriously, these voices open doors and broken balls. I still have the chains from the time I set poetry free. I've got the memory stored like a WAV file, and I wrote this in the kitchen, cause I'm a chef. I cook metaphors, I serve puns in tense, and that's intended. Before Jesus comes, I'm the shortcoming of breath. Before there was the last airbender, I mastered the Tai Chi. This is Kung Fu, I kick fools. Holy speaking, I'm scripted in a body poets with my drafts in a heartbeat. My heart beats to voice the testament of my future, squarely like an old Bible. I'm not Moses with the staff, I'm a God poet with the pen. I can make toxic relationships sound beautiful. I'm the magician with the pen, oozing words that dance like magic. Magic might be my name, but if only my thoughts could shape my reality, I would free the conscience of this country for political prison. It's a country for old men because we're sleeping on our youth. If only I could stop writing poems and use my pen to color the clouds of citizen dissatisfaction to darkness. Maybe it would bring a revolution. Maybe light can only come after darkness. Maybe only mind revolution can birth surface revolutions. A poet is but means nothing if police brutality is immortal. Sometimes when I write and I aim right, I leave pages smelling like gunpowder. They say that's how you kill a poem, except my boys are dying for real. No imagery, no dramatic effects. That's the drama that affects our nation. I'm trying to decipher my life. I'm trying to make it in life, but it is hard when your past already made it into your future. I'm trying to decipher the metrics out of which I settle easy not being the one. I could be Neo, the soul of half the poems you listen to, or the soul on a pair of Jordans stepping on a coat of arms to make justice supreme. I could be sent by Elohim to turn tables like this is not a joke, yo. Twitter be gassing, but I'm not about all that smoke. I already saw what stoning did to Stephen, and I'm not a martyr. I'm not a martyr.
A king, guys, a king. Tafadhalini, a round of applause for Mufasa for that mod energy. Mufasa, asante sana, guys. That has been our list. That has been our lineup. Do you guys want to know who our featured poet next time is? Before you get to know, a round of applause for Mufasa. Tafadhali. Thank you, Bana. Thank you, guys. Our next featured poet next month is going to be Timo GK. So make sure you guys come through and experience greatness. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to the Kwani open mic team for organizing this. I want to give a shout out to you guys for being an amazing audience, for bringing vibes, for bringing yourself. Make sure you come back again next month. We cannot wait to see you guys. Other than that, farewell. It has been nice. It has been a privilege. Kwaherini, my name is Gisheru Wanjiko. Follow us at Kwani Open Mic. Follow me at Gisheru __Wanjiko. Bye.